I know you want to talk a little baseball, at least in the
beginning.
How
about that? Baseball.
Baseball at a time like this, in January.
Yeah,
well, the weather's calling for it.
There's good reason, Les. I mean, the Houston Astros will lose their manager and their general manager and $5 million plus their #1 draft picks this year and next year in a cheating scandal.
Slap on the wrist.
That looks like a sledgehammer justice to some, not enough punishment for others like Les, which might be a sign that baseball got it right, although I'm sure Les will disagree. Commissioner Rob-Manfred warned teams in September 2017 about the use of video cameras to steal signs. Instant replay cameras positioned near the dugouts made that much easier to do since 2014. The Astros ignored the warning. The heavy punishment, if you believe that's what it is an acknowledgement that technology will only become more prevalent in baseball, not less. Those who think baseball didn't go far enough, that the Astros World Series title should be vacated, have a point. I've just never believed in reversing an outcome that played out on the field and that was the product of 1,000 other variables. Les is a baseball guy, so I'll be interested to hear what he has to say. But it's enough for me that the Astros title is tainted, despite what the owner wants to believe.
How do you feel about in the Hall of Fame where they have a room with all these steroid guys and whatever and just says, okay, these guys did this, this, and this, and their numbers were accepted as highest batting average, highest home run total, whatever, but we want you to know they also did this. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've always argued that it should be a museum and not a shrine,
right.
So we shouldn't whitewash what happened to these guys. I'm in favor of Pete Rose being in, but with a asterisk or whatever you want to call it at the bottom of his plaque that says banned from baseball for cheating,
right.
for gambling. Now, I'd ask you this question as a Cleveland guy. Should Gaylord Perry be in that wing then? I mean, where do you draw the line with a guy who clearly doctored the baseball and got away with it?
Just because he said he did.
Yeah, he admitted it.
I don't think he ever got caught.
So is that the standard then?
No, but it's like, I don't know. At what point, cheating, or not cheating, but stealing signs has been a product of baseball for a zillion years. And laughably, Joe Nasick from Euclid made a living stealing signs. He had a career stealing signs. So at what point, just because you're better at it, does that stop? Better at it meaning you used equipment or technology? Should be taken away from it or not taken away from it?
Well, I mean, I think everybody has the ability to use instant replay cameras. And once you're told that that is off limits, you can't do it. Just like on an NFL sideline, you can't have a Bluetooth device in your ear. I think if you go ahead or you do it, or you videotape sidelines during football games when no one else is when your opponent is not doing it because that's the rule, then you should be punished for it.
I just wonder in the case of baseball, if you're stealing signs, and at what point is it illegal within the game? Well, I mean, Bob Feller didn't get laughed at, but Bob Feller had the equipment from the USS Alabama, which they used in the Cleveland Municipal Stadium scoreboard to pick out signs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's gone above and beyond a guy sitting in a dugout and saying, hey, the third base coach just went to his nose for a fourth time. That means suicide squeeze. I don't know. You started off by saying that you thought this was light punishment. Now it sounds like you're defending if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
No, I'm just throwing it out there. I just don't know at what point is it cheating or not cheating. Or is it part of the game? Well,
at one point, I think the Milwaukee Brewers were guilty of using the mascot to sit in center field. And when he saw
the Brewer?
Well, yeah, when he saw a signal for a fastball coming, he wore white gloves and he clapped his hands, and the guys in the dugout knew what was coming, or the batter knew what was coming. This was a concerted effort to stick a thumb in the eye of baseball once baseball said you cannot use instant replay cameras for video surveillance of what another team's doing pitch-wise. And these guys were going into that room and doing it. And then banging a trash can to let a guy know a curveball
And
was
you got
coming.
Alex Cora also, who was on both of the, he was in the front, coaching or managing both teams.
Yeah.
I mean, when a guy gets traded, for example, he knows what the other team is doing.
Well, that's how this came to light.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how the guy pronounces his name, that relief pitcher, Mike F-I-E-R-S,
Fears.
Fires. He's the one who first brought it to the attention of the new team that he joined.
Right.
Telling them, hey, this is what the Astros are doing.
Yeah,
and
Trevor Bauer let everybody know about it.
Well, I think Bauer's argument was that they were using substances on the ball that allowed them to get better spin rates on the ball.
Right.
I don't know that he knew this, but certainly if they were cheating in one area, they were probably cheating in other areas.
Did you